The bar I set for men is so low that when he texts me out of the blue so he can use me again, I get happy because he's choosing to use me again.
Yeah!
The bar I set for men is so low that when he offers to pay for my plan B, I think he's a gentleman.
Yeah!
The bar I set for men is so low that when he told me he fucked his ex and his best friend, I said thank you for being honest.
Yeah!
The bar I set for men is so low that when he comes to pick me up for a date and he actually knocks on the door, I'm ready to propose.
Yeah!
The bar I set for men is so low that when he told me he didn't want to see me again, I was happy at least he didn't ghost me.
Yeah!
The bar I set for men is so low that when he picks me up before midnight, I think he's being wholesome.
Yeah!
Guys, videos like this are so absolutely telling about the current dating situation in 2021, alright? You got all these women out here dating and getting with men who have no interest in committing to them at all, and yet they'll turn around and expect the average guy to take them out on dates, to pay for them, to do all these wonderful things for her, to validate her, call her beautiful, you know, do all these chores, jump through all these hoops, whatever the case may be, to show that he cares about her. And yet you look at the men that they're actually dating, and these men are not having to do a damn thing. Okay, they're not having to take these girls on dates, they don't validate them, and yet they expect the average guy to jump through all of these hoops and do these things for them. Guys, the default is for women to lie about this. Okay, women will sit here and they'll tell you to your face, oh, I want a man who cares, I want a man with integrity, I want a man who will commit to me. And yet you look at their dating history, guys, and it is the complete opposite. And I mean, this is so incredibly common. It is not the fact that the bar is low for men. It is they set the bar low for men that they're attracted to. Girls, when they're attracted to a guy, she won't make him to do all this kind of crap, right? She'll see him for 20 minutes on a Monday morning, early hours of the morning, okay, just to have some bedroom fun and then be kicked out, and she's going to be happy at the fact that she was allowed to see him for 20 minutes. That's the attitude that she's going to have. All these girls out here, man, expecting dudes to pay for their dates and do all these things for them, and half the time, more than half the time, they don't even show up to the damn dates. A lot of these girls, truth be told, gentlemen, are destined to be alone. Right, and the reason for that is because their standards are just too damn high. They want that guy who's 6 foot, who earns 6 figures, whatever the case may be. They're shopping out of their price range, guys. You know, and a lot of these girls, they want to play that strong and independent and I'm empowered card. And the thing is, a lot of men just aren't interested in that. Okay, but let's continue on to today's next video, guys. We got some bangers lined up for you gentlemen today. So thank you very much for sending these in. And without further ado, let's just continue on to the next one.
Was I really liked him.
Thank you.
I really liked him though, and sex was good.
But were you hoping to be number one?
If I were still to be with that person, that I still liked him, absolutely.
Okay, so you were number 3 and you was hoping to move up to number 1?
She wasn't hoping. She was just playing.
I'm just gonna keep
Why was
playing.
she still there if she wasn't hoping to be number 1?
Listen, I still talk to him to this day. I'm still gonna be. One day I'm gonna end up being with him. I know I am.
Did you guys hear that? Right, I'm telling you, man, these women will be out here getting with dudes who have no interest in committing to them. And these women will be there, you know, on the line, so to speak, for months, sometimes even years. You might think that when you go and you talk to a girl, okay, and I've mentioned this before, you might think that, oh, I'm the only guy that she's talking to. That is not the case. These women will, when they're on dating apps and stuff like this, guys, they get dudes thrown at them all the damn time. Okay, and what ends up happening is they'll get with a dude who's really attractive, makes lots of money, whatever the case may be. And so what she's going to do is she's going to sit there and she's going to set her bar at that guy. Now, all of the subsequent men that she dates, she's going to feel like she deserves more. So she's going to treat those dudes like crap. She's going to try and get them to do all these things because she thinks that she's deserving of more. Even though she cannot get a relationship out of that guy, she cannot get marriage out of that guy. Truth be told, guys, let's just keep it honest here. A lot of these women cannot keep a man. Right? They think that they're entitled to a dude who's doing all these things for them, but they can't even keep a man. Right? And I don't say that to be rude. I don't say that to be mean, guys. Like I don't say that to just to be rude to these people, guys. I say that because they literally can't. right? A lot of them don't know what the hell they're doing. They want to talk about, oh yeah, I'm wifey this, I'm wifey that, and then you look at their dating history, and it's nothing but men who aren't interested in them. It's like, okay, you think you're wife material, right? You think you want to be number one girlfriend. Okay, where's your man? All right.
I'm not gonna lie. And he got 2 girlfriends. How about that?
At one point,
And get that. And the dude who she'd been on the hook for a very long period of time, the dude had 2 girlfriends, and she was okay with that. I'm telling you, man, these women, they'll say that they don't like men who have options, but they like men who have options, guys. They would rather be with a dude who has access to a lot of women than be with a guy who has no girls. If you're a man and you're inexperienced in the dating market, you are at such a disadvantage. And I know that doesn't apply to the dudes over here who are not interested in dating, right? I don't care if you guys want to go out here and date. If you don't want to date, it's totally up to you. It's your decision. But here's the thing. If you're dating in 2021, a lot of women just don't like men who don't have experience. They'll say that, oh yeah, I want a guy who's inexperienced and I want a guy who's going to be loyal to me. But the thing is, they don't choose those men, guys. They absolutely don't. They'll sit there and they'll cry about it, but that's just not what they do.
I was dealing with this dude and I fall back into the side chick position because I couldn't fulfill the main chick position. I couldn't be there for him every day. I couldn't be that girl that's at home. I couldn't be that girl that's listening to him, that's not at a party every other. That's not me. I know what kind of girl he needed, but the sex was good and we had this connection, we had this vibe. So, you know, push little mama up. I be second online because I can't give you the type of love you're looking for. So it doesn't take money.
So, but you see, Danny choose the motion though. Danny choose.
No, Danny's a team player.
No, it's not been a team player because I just feel like I couldn't give him what he needed. So why just sit there and act like, hey, you're gonna be annoying all the time? Well, I'm not doing this. Well, I'm not this girl. I'm not that girl. So I'm gonna play my position. The position I could play at the moment is being a side chick. So get the.
And the really funny part about this, gentlemen, is the fact that these girls who will stay on the hook for Chad, right, the dude that they're really attracted to, they're going to go out there and they're going to continue to date, right? So they're going to go back out there and they're going to demand all these things of the average guy. But here's the thing. The moment that guy calls, she's going to go running back to him, right? This is why you see a lot of dudes in relationships, you know, she just suddenly up and left. Right? Things just seemed, she just didn't feel that way anymore, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, usually this is because she managed to change her boyfriend and stuff like that. But truth be told, guys, a lot of these women who are on the dating market, they're still attached to their previous partners. Like, the dude doesn't have to have committed to her. She's just still holding out for his commitment. So anytime he beckons, she's going to be running on back. It doesn't matter if she has a boyfriend. It doesn't matter if she has a husband. Guys, if we're going to keep it, you know, 100% honest here, marriage to a lot of these women doesn't mean a damn thing. Right? You can have a 10-year marriage, but an old fling of hers might come up from the past, and who knows, one thing led to another. They just wanted to meet up for some coffee and see if they reconnected. Yeah, this happens all the time, man. The whole, oh, he's just a friend. You know, maybe if we've got enough time on this episode, I might tell you guys a quick story, but let's continue onwards.
Other girl that's ready to fall in love and follow rules, that's not me.
Are you wifey material?
In being a wifey is being able to take care of yourself, how you carry yourself, and if you can carry yourself through life. So
if you didn't catch that right there, she said the number one rule of being a wifey is, and then those things.
I feel like a man is looking to see how you approach him. If you are a damsel in distress, no man wants to wife someone that's just looking for a man to pick them up and rescue them, like you said. Like you said that China got rescued from the strip club.
Here's the thing. A lot of men don't actually mind rescuing a girl. The question is she worth rescuing? Guys don't care about your career. They don't care about your business accolades. You can sit here and tell these women that we don't care about their careers until you're blue in the face. They're not going to listen, guys. They never seem to listen. It's all about what I want, what I need, it's all about me, me, me. But if you try and tell her that, hey, men aren't necessarily interested in your career and your strong and independence, then that's just called insecurity, is what they like to call it, guys. Right, and here's the thing: a lot of men would go out here and would show a girl a good time and would take her on a date and stuff like that. But the problem is, a lot of these women straight up don't appreciate it. Okay, men don't want to come home to a second boss. That's not what makes a wife. You can sit here and you can say, oh well, you know, men want a girl who can take care of herself. No, not necessarily. This whole strong and independent, I'm a boss babe, it doesn't fly so good. You know, like I said just a second ago, guys, it's not like men want to go out here, work the entire day, and then come home to a second boss. That's not what makes a wife.
I don't think that a man is going to look at that and say, okay, well, that's wifey. I got her out the strip club and now I'm about to take care of her. Once you know how to take care of yourself, and once a man sees that, you know, you got for yourself and I don't have to come and take care of you, that's wifey. So when
No, you see, men don't care about how much money you make. From an from an attraction standpoint, from a what makes a wife standpoint, you know, to be a good wife, you don't need to be earning a lot of money. That's not what men are necessarily interested in. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think, okay? But it seems to me that all these women seem to think like their careers matter in becoming a wife, right? They need to be strong and independent to be a wife. They have no idea what men are actually interested in. You see, that's what women are interested in right there. She's saying it from the perspective of a woman, right? Which is, I want a guy who I don't have to take care of. I want a guy who's strong and who has lived his life in that way and doesn't need someone and doesn't need to rely on anyone. That's what girls are interested in. Okay, sometimes it's nice for guys to feel like they're being relied upon. You know, we got a lot of dudes out here who would be willing to take girls on dates, who would be willing to give relationships and stuff like that. Like, a lot of these dudes are not these cold, malicious people that women make them out to be. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, you know, we're going to be going through some of these videos that you gentlemen have sent into the show. So thank you very much for sending them in. And we're also going to be going through a few Reddit stories. So guys, don't forget to subscribe as we continue onwards. And gentlemen, as always, if you are interested in supporting the show, make sure you check out the locals link in the description. As always, that is there. The first month is totally free with code Fiendish, guys. So make sure you go and check that out. But without further ado, let's just continue into the first Reddit story, and some of these are absolutely great. So this one right here is titled, How Do I Get Over an Ex? My ex, who is a 21-year-old dude, broke up with me, I am also 21, nearly almost a month ago, and I'm really struggling to get over him. We had an argument which was caused by his actions, but I definitely know I confronted him in the wrong way, which made everything worse. After we argued, he gave me the silent treatment for a few days, and I tried to resolve the issue because I don't like sleeping angry at someone I care about, but he didn't want to, and he ended things. I am so hurt by the fact that he was so quick to cut me off, even though he would always tell me how much I meant to him. We used to speak about really personal stuff. I have already spoke to a lot of my friends who have tried to help me get over it, but I genuinely can't stop thinking of him. One of my friends found his profile on Tinder already, so I know he is looking to move on and isn't thinking about me. I've tried to do the same, but everyone I've met after him just makes me miss him more. We weren't together for a long time, but we spent so much time together. I already know in the long run he is not good for me because he is really quick to blow up and shut people out, but I just need advice on how to move on because I know he is and I don't want to be stuck thinking of someone who isn't thinking of me. Gentlemen, a couple of takeaways to pull away from something like this is the fact that girls will go back on the dating market while they're still attracted to dudes who are not interested in them. I mean, look at this sentence right here, okay? I've tried to do the same, but everyone I've met after him just makes me miss him more. Right? And let's look at this as well. I already know in the long run he is not good for me because he is really quick to blow up and shut people out, but I just need advice. These women are attracted to men who are not openly available to them. Right, who they don't know where the dude's emotions are. She can't quite figure him out. He's always mysterious. He's not interested in her. He's not investing in her. And then they want to complain when he just shuts her out. You see, they want to be the one to come along and change a guy. They want to be the dude they want to be the woman, excuse me, who comes along and changes his behavior. And you know what? When they change the dude's behavior, he's not as interesting anymore. Okay, but let's continue on to this next one. And this is very short, but let's take a look at this. I thought this was interesting. And I saw this while I was looking through what you guys have sent me in. This subreddit, by the way, is an absolute gold mine. r/dating advice. Goodness. So, why do women lose interest when I say I never dated? I'm 23 years old. When I tell them I've never dated, they lose interest. I tried to hide it, but I have no experience. Gentlemen, women will come to you and they'll say, oh, you know, I want a guy who's, I just want a guy who's not a player. You know, who hasn't been with a lot of girls and stuff like this. They want a guy, they want that good-hearted, nice, naive little man. Okay, but here's the thing. Women want a guy who's done these things 1,000 times, right? Because they don't want a guy who's awkward and doesn't know what to do and doesn't have that experience. And here's the thing. They also look at it like, if you're a dude and you have no dating experience, a lot of these girls will look at you like, why? Right? If you were so valuable, why aren't other girls interested in you? So oftentimes they're actually basing your value off of what other women think of you, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? Maybe you're a guy that's been out there working on your career, not necessarily focusing on girls and stuff like that, and women will hold it against you. Right? They don't like dudes who have no options, who don't have girls trying to get with them and stuff like that. They're out here choosing the guys who have all the girls already. This is why when you see the dating situation, it's often so skewed, because all the women are chasing the same group of men. Most men are not getting any women at all. I mean, if you're the average guy and you go on a dating app, guys, you'll know what I mean. Right? Most guys are just frankly invisible to these women. But continuing on to the next story. So this one is titled Ghosted, the Saga. So I'm a 21-year-old female, a pre-medical student doing 16 credit hours with research and several extracurriculars, which essentially implies that I don't have much free time. Because of this, I've made it a rule to not allow myself to get distracted with men and relationships due to complicated and time-consuming experiences in the past. However, I'm obviously young and want to have fun, and I'm not one to enjoy casual hookups at all. Nothing against it, just not my vibe. So occasionally I'll accept a date or get a dating app to see if I can possibly form a casual connection. Gotta love how in the same paragraph, right, where she writes how that she's not interested in casual hookups, she also writes that she's young and she wants to have fun, and that she'll occasionally accept a date to form a casual connection. Like, can we contradict ourselves harder, right? Gentlemen, this is what women will do, right? They'll position themselves as the angels who are not interested in hookup culture, and then you look at their actions, and it's nothing but hookup culture. And just getting with a new dude every fortnight, every weekend, every day sometimes. And I wish I was joking about that, guys, but a lot of these women who are on dating apps, they're seeing multiple men in the same week. It actually gets pretty gross pretty quickly. But let's continue on to this. Well, 4 years of college later, and I went on my very first date ever yesterday. I broke my rule and went out with this guy that I met at a bar during exam week. Well, homeboy ghosted me, and once again I'm over here blaming myself, thinking that I'm the problem. Am I the problem? Is this the mindset, the reason I can't make a casual connection with anybody? Guys, I want you to look at just how many contradictions are in when girls talk about their dating situation. I've said this before, but it's like talking to a politician. And what you'll notice is they get caught up in their own lies. They don't understand how things don't actually make any logical sense at all. So look at this paragraph, okay? So she's not interested in casual hookups, right? But she'll occasionally accept a date or get on a dating app to see if she can form a casual relationship. 4 years of college later, she went on her very first date ever yesterday, despite the fact that saying she'll occasionally accept a date just a sentence ago, right? And then she says here, homeboy ghosted me, and once again I'm over here blaming myself, thinking I'm the problem, implying that it has happened more than once, right? I mean, guys, please do not let women sit here and tell you that they're the angels and that they can do no wrong. And they're not into casual dating because they're different. I mean, just look at the amount of contradictions in this one story alone, gentlemen. It's actually mind-blowing. But continuing on to the next story, and we've got a whole bunch of these to go through, guys, to really kind of to drive the point home. This is another fantastic one. So this one here is titled, "How do I get him to ask me to be his girlfriend?" For some context, me and this guy have been seeing each other for about a month. I've never had success with relationships, but this one is by far very different. Although it's only been a month, I don't see a point in waiting super long to be asked. But besides that, he just doesn't seem like the type to make a move. I don't want to do the asking, so I'm not sure if I should bring it up or what. Guys, something that you'll notice in 2021 dating, before we continue onwards here, is the fact that if you're a dude and you're choosing to date, you are making a mistake if you ask these women out. Okay, if you're the dude and you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, well, I want her to be my girlfriend. Should I ask her out? Should I ask her to be my girlfriend?" Guys, do not ask women to be your girlfriend. Let her bring it up. Let her start asking the questions of, "Oh, so what are we? You know, can we put a label on this? What exactly are we?" Girls will bring it up over time, gentlemen. Don't be the one to bring it up, because what ends up happening is a lot of guys get in relationships with the mindset of, "Oh, you know what? I'm here to make her happy." Right? It's all about her, and I'm so lucky that she's with me. And you know what happens to men who think like that? They get used incredibly badly. Okay, and I wish that was a joke, guys, but it absolutely isn't. Alright, a lot of dudes who go into relationships with the idea that they have to provide everything, they have to do everything, get so tremendously screwed over, it is unreal. And I wish I could say that this was uncommon, guys, but it's simply not. So let's jump into this next story here. And try not to laugh, guys. So, what gives? I'm a 30-year-old woman who met a man who is 36 in July of 2020. When we first met, he was extremely kind. We really hit it off. After 3 blissful months, he suddenly says that he can't do this anymore. No other explanation, no clues as to why leading up to that day. And gentlemen, I think this post might have been edited, because I'm pretty sure she said at the beginning that she was a single mother. But maybe that was a different story. I've had this tab open for an hour or so I don't know if she's edited it or what. But let's continue. No other explanation, no clues as to why leading up to that day. Shortly after, he says that he still wants to see me. We continued to act like a couple, even though it was communicated that we were not a couple at all. Fast forward to me being strung along for 13 months, hoping that it would go back to how it was. Never did. I asked him if he ever saw a future between us, and he just got mad and didn't want to talk about it. So I said, well, if you want to just be friends, then I'm going to have to accept that and move on. As in, I started dating again. I told him I'm dating again and found someone who sparked my interest. Now he's ignoring me completely. Why? Gentlemen, these girls who make it to 30 and they still want to talk about the fact that why are dudes ghosting me? Why aren't men interested in me? Why aren't men doing these things? It's honestly quite funny, right? Because a lot of these girls who get to this point, they could be in a relationship by now. The question is, what have they been doing this entire time to the fact that they don't have a relationship anymore? Or they don't have a relationship at all, excuse me. Right? If these girls were so fantastic and they were such a hot commodity, then why is nobody, where's the ring? Where's the relationship? Where's the dude who is going to be there for you and all this kind of crap? You see, a lot of these girls, man, they're shopping out of their price range. All right? This one here is titled, "Why is he taking 24 hours to text me back? I'm a female talking to a guy I like, but we are friends only, and I have no idea how he feels about me. He always takes exactly 23 hours and 50 minutes to message me back, with actual interesting content in his messages, not just short replies. I'm so confused. What does this mean? It seems a bit weird that it is that amount of time. I vary in message response times between half an hour to a few hours to 24, because I don't know how I should be approaching this or what kind of message he's trying to send. Any guesses or explanation would be helpful." Stories like this are so funny. I think something that a lot of dudes don't realize is the fact that women will obsess over response times of messages. Right? If you're a dude and you're messaging a girl, as soon as she sends you a message, within 5 minutes, you're replying to her. Women are going to pick up on that and they're going to treat you like crap as a consequence of it. Right? They're going to go, oh, okay, he's not worth anything because he's replying quickly. I know that's some backwards logic, guys. Right? We as dudes, we'll text people when we see the message, no problem, right? But women want to play all these games and associate all this meaning to it of like, oh, if he was such a great guy, why would he respond to me so quickly? You know, you might be on lunch break or something like that, and you might figure, well, I got some spare time here, so I'm just going to reply just because I saw a message right away. No, she's going to look at that, and she's going to go, oh, he's not worth anything. But that guy who takes 23 hours and 50 minutes, right? Interesting how she noticed the 10-minute differential rather than just rounding it to... How creepy is that, by the way? Right? Can we talk about that for a second? Women want to talk about how dudes are creepy and that they're, you know, they overthink things and they look into things too much and they're so insecure and all this. This woman literally noticed the fact that rather than replying every 24 hours, he responds every 23 hours and 50 minutes. Like, what a creepy thing to observe. Like, do you not have better things to do than to figure that out, man? Right? Women will put so much emphasis on all of these little micro details in communication, gentlemen, that we as dudes, we honestly, a lot of the times, just don't give a crap about. Right? Like, we just absolutely don't. But to her, it's like, oh, is he interested in me? Is he not interested in me? What does this mean? So we're actually going to have a scroll through and see what a couple of these people have to say, because I haven't read these. So I don't think you will like my answer, but from my experience as a girlfriend and as a single girl, I think he has a girl at home. So better set things straight. Yo, he busy. True. He might just be super nervous to break a routine you have established. By taking it any further, he would either confirm or shatter the fantasy of being with you. I'm not saying this is what's going on, but trust me, it's not a guaranteed sign that he doesn't like you. I mean, here's another alternative, guys. Maybe he's just actually busy. Right? Maybe he has things to do that he doesn't have time to be responding to you within every 24-hour period. You know, some dudes have a lot of time and will make time to message people, but, you know, other dudes are just busy and they don't have time to be texting you on your whatever app of choice, letting you know that he's still there. This is something that if you're a dude and you're in a relationship or maybe you're looking to get into one, please be careful of women who expect you to be like checking in as if it's a job, right? Oh, you need to be talking to me at these hours of the day and show me that you care and all this crap. I mean, a lot of dudes are choosing not to date, and one of the things is that one of the reasons why is the fact that a lot of these girls are just straight up crazy, man. Like, they're just actually such a headache, because the thing is, yeah, you'll deal with girls who will flake on you and treat you like crap and all that, but there's also the other edge to the sword where a lot of these girls can be crazy, right? And it's to the point where it's not even funny. So let's continue and see what else some of these people have to say. He's not required to reply on your time, and you're doing entirely too much counting down when he texts. He's not weird for taking long to reply, you're weird for counting it. And these people have downvoted this 3 times. It is not so much that he's taking too long, it's that it's always the exact amount of time, which suggests it could be intentional rather than being busy, if that makes sense. I wasn't counting at first, but I noticed it, haha. Yeah, don't listen to this person. It's perfectly normal to notice this. You're not stupid, and it's normal to be on the edge about someone you like. Everyone is different. If you want to take things further, you should just go for it. Take the initiative and tell him your feelings. I don't know about you, gentlemen. Personally, I don't do this whole like timing with texts and figuring out, oh, this person replied to me like 23 hours and 50 minutes later. Like, what the hell even is that? Some people are just busy. Okay, they don't have time to be looking at your messages and going, oh, you know what? How come she didn't reply? She responded back to me in 57 minutes as opposed to 40. It's like, women will put so much emphasis on this kind of stuff, guys. It is absolutely crazy. Most likely coincidental. I doubt anybody is seriously waiting 23 hours and 50 minutes to respond every single time on the dot. Huh. It's far more unlikely that he texts her at the same time every day just by happenstance. What if he works and that just happens to be the time he has to reply? Exactly. So he texts at the same time every day. That's not an accident. It's not hard to send a text. And they're just having a discussion as to whether or not it's intentional or, purposely that he's texting back at 23 hours or 50 minutes. I mean, my question is, why the hell would you put so much effort into caring about this crap, guys? Right? It seems to me, gentlemen, that dating in 2021 is just a giant game, is what it is, where people will screw around, they'll waste each other's times, and they'll sit here and go, oh yeah, well, how come she didn't text, or how come he didn't text, as if people don't have things to do in their lives. All right, and this is something that perhaps you're an older gentleman, you might be looking at this going, look, I seriously just don't even care about this whole social media, Instagram, Snapchat BS that's going on at the moment. And you're looking at the dating situation where, to be quite honest, gentlemen, a lot of these women will never give up their Instagram or their Snapchat and stuff like that. Okay, because all of the dudes' attention, all the free validation that they get comes from those things. Right, it comes from the fact that random dudes are messaging her and doing all these things, okay? And women won't necessarily give this up, because that's her options. Those are dudes who will talk to her and tell her that she's beautiful. And here's the funny thing, right? We covered a story the other day before we get into this very last article of the episode, okay? We covered this story the other day as I fixed the screen, where I completely forgot what the hell I was saying. So I'm going to momentarily bring this up if I can pull up the right screen, and we'll see what these people have to say. So the title's going to be cropped off here for some reason, but the title is the world of attraction an endless battlefield? I, many times, feel that the dating world is an endless stream of competition for the available partners and having to prove oneself to the opposite gender. Everyone wants the best partner they can find, and no one seems to want to give up on their ultimate ideal. People adapt, cheat, trick, change, and lie to get what they want. People get allies, wingmen and wingwomen to help them, and people just keep trying until they attain victory, burn out, or go onwards. Sounds so much like a battlefield to me. And that seems to be the situation at the moment, guys, where, look, you can be a dude who wants to get out there in the dating game and stuff like that, and you might quickly run into the fact that, things like dating apps, things like marriage, things like long-term relationships are oftentimes, very skewed against you as a man. Okay, and the majority of people will sit there and they'll lie and they'll go, oh yeah, I want a guy who does this, I want a guy who does that, and then all of these things never really serve a dude. Right, it's all about providing to the woman and seeing what the hell she wants, as if that does anything. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Apologies if my points were a bit off today, guys. I'm quite exhausted, and I'm going to be heading to bed right after today's episode. So feel free to correct me in the comments, guys. Plenty of errors in this one, I am sure. Make sure to leave your own comments and your own thoughts before you leave. And as always, subscribe on your way out if you enjoyed. But otherwise, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.